we in government, or even like most companies, not even just government, like even outside of government, everyone uses Microsoft Suite or Microsoft Office. So, you're going to have your Outlooks out there and you're going to have your Word. But some of the cooler tools and systems that we use is a lot of the online planning tools like Monday.com or Trello board, those kind of things.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, babies in their diapers, welcome to the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy.
That's me, Tiberius.
And welcome to the Tiberius Show today. And I'm your host, Tiberius Boy. And as always, looking at various jobs and how they affect the world around us. Today's guest is going to be a marketing professional who works for the Victorian Government and has done some amazing projects. I mean, even some Disney ones. Now, do I have any idea what a marketing professional actually does? Well, I mean, I think we're going to, market our way and find out. But you know what? Let me just introduce our next guest. The one, the only, the amazing Laura Barbante!
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, so you are listed as a marketing professional for the Victorian Government. For my listeners that might not know, what exactly does a marketing professional do?
So a marketing professional is someone who promotes a product, a service, or in my case, with the Victorian Government infrastructure, which is a little bit boring. And essentially, it's about getting it out to the masses. So think about your TV ads, your the advertisements in a newspaper, something that you see when you're scrolling on your phone. That all comes from me in my marketing team.
So Laura, how did you get started in marketing? Was this something you always wanted to do?
Funnily enough, no. I actually wanted to get into PR, PR, which is public relations. But there was an entrance exam and you had to be a really good speller. And I'm a very bad speller. So I did not pass the entrance exam. And took kind of an alternative path, which is marketing, which is definitely more up my alley. And I'm glad that I didn't pass that entrance exam because I love what I do in marketing. It's so fun. And I don't think I ever would have chosen it otherwise.
Okay, so I read that you worked on some of the biggest government campaigns for Victoria's Big Build. What was that all about?
That was and is the state. So I live in Australia, and I live in a state called Victoria, and we have some of the biggest infrastructure projects globally. And so my role with that is was really to build this massive campaign, and we got to use like CGI, and we got to use After Effects and everything to have like these giants putting in infrastructure into the state to kind of communicate that we're building all these cool things, and it was a lot of fun.
So, what's it like to work on projects that affect millions of people?
Quite rewarding. Generally advertising or marketing is all about like your dollars and how much money you can earn for a business. But when you work in government, it's more about for the people. So you get to kind of really get that community feel and you're doing something for good, essentially.
Okay, so marketing for the government sounds serious. You gotta pay your taxes, you know? So, really, is there room to be creative and fun when doing stuff for the government?
Yes. Short answer, yes. Surprisingly, okay. Right? Because, you're so marketing is all about talking to an audience. And in government, you're talking to everyone. So everyone is people who are 16 plus in the government eyes. Because you can't really advertise to people younger than that, and those that younger cohort or even like under 30s, they're our key audience, right? They're the ones who are going to benefit most from whatever it is the government priority of the day. And so you have to be able to talk to them, which means you have to be able to be cool and relatable and really get cut through. So you get to do some cool stuff, surprisingly.
Okay, so Laura, your bio says that you've worked on some Disney campaigns. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I kind of started my career in marketing at Disney, and I got to work right. I got to work for Disney right when they kind of merged with Lucas Group and Marvel. So I got to and Disney Pixar. So I got to work on Disney, Disney Pixar, Marvel, and Star Wars. And my claim to fame is that I got to work on The Force Awakens when Star Wars kind of relaunched.
Wow. Okay, so what is that one project that you've worked on that made you go, wow, I can't believe I get to do this?
One of them is that's a really good question. And I think it's probably back in my Disney days is I got to work on Moana, the movie when it got released. And I got to watch it in storyboard form and like with all in its rawness. And it was
Wow.
one of the coolest things that I like. I always remember it. I tell everyone who wants to hear. It's like the coolest story I have.
Wow. Okay, so what's the difference between marketing for a business and marketing for a government? Because I know how to do marketing
The
for a
big,
business.
yeah. I think the biggest difference is marketing for a business is you're trying to get revenue or trying to get profit, right? You want them to earn the money and you want them to be successful in a business. In government, it's quite different because you're not trying to get dollars, you're not trying to get sales. The goal of government is to really make sure that the community feels informed. So your primary goal is to make sure the most number of people are aware of whatever it is that you need to tell them. So in my case, in infrastructure, my primary goal was to make sure people were informed about the project that was happening and if they were going to be impacted during the construction.
So, do you
So
get to
very
like
different.
design the ads and videos yourself, or are you part of like the big creative team?
Yeah. So it's definitely the latter. I'm definitely part of a creative team. So I work more in the strategy space. So we kind of set the guiding principles and then we work with our creative agency who go away and come up with all these incredible ideas on how to execute the strategy. And we work really closely with the creative to then build the TV ads or build the press ad or build, a social ad. So I don't do any of the creative personally, but like I get to watch it all come together and approve it and make changes.
Okay, so if I saw one of your ads on TV, would I be able to recognize your work?
If you lived in Australia or Victoria, yes, 100%. If you were to see it in America, no.
Now, what part of being a marketing leader do you enjoy the most?
Very good question again. I would say the best thing about being a marketing leader is all the people that I get to work with. So my team are some of the most smartest, brightest people I've ever worked with, and I just absolutely love going to work every day and kind of learning from them. And they just bring such fresh perspectives.
So, do you have to like go to college to become good at marketing, or no, not really?
It's an interesting one because like people in the industry have both skill sets. They have both the go to school and have a formal degree, and others who have just kind of worked their way up from getting a job when they were younger and kind of grown and then they get education later in life. For me, I would say having a college degree or university degree in Australia is critical in marketing because you learn quite a lot and you build your network pretty much from the moment you start school or start uni, college.
Okay, so what qualities do you think separate a good marketer from a great one?
Um, I think it comes down to your ability to negotiate and to see the future patterns. Like you kind of got to have a futurist mindset because when you're in marketing, it takes you 9 months to create an ad. what you thought was cool 9 months ago is not going to be cool once it finally goes live. So you have to really be, thinking about the future and what those trends are, and kind of um, really have your finger on the pulse. Otherwise, you'll be left behind and you'll probably produce some pretty bad stuff.
So, what's the best part about working with so many creative people?
It's just fun. Creative people are a whole different level of fun to work with. So, not to throw any shade on like finance or anything like that, but when you walk around to the marketing side of the office or where the marketing teams are, it's loud. There's people talking. It's conversation. I remember when I was at Disney, even you'd literally walk around the corner from legal into marketing, and it would just be like you're in a field or something like that. It's just noise. So like I love being around all creative people because everyone just likes to talk and share their ideas, and it's a lot of fun.
So, have you ever had to like create a campaign really fast or like with almost no time?
Yeah. So always, right? But I think, when you're trying to do like social content is one of those ones that you have to turn things around so quickly, because if you want to follow a trend, you literally don't have time to second guess yourself. So yeah, anything in the social space that's gone out is always gone out pretty quickly.
So, what's the funniest or most unexpected thing that happened while working on a campaign?
I mean, the most obvious one is having your creative direction changed. Like you're going down a path and you're like, this is the creative direction we're going, and hey, how great it is. And then next minute, someone's like, actually, I don't like it, and you have to rethink it. So that's happened a few times, where you put your heart and soul into something, and then you get told, oh, actually, no, think it again.
So, what's one thing you think kids should know about doing the work that you do?
Is that it's funner than it looks. So I think people think marketing, no one really knows what marketing is, right? Like when I explain my job, they're like, that's what marketing is. So it's actually quite fun. Like it's a good balance of creative thinking as well as problem solving. So you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Okay, so what's one thing you think kids should know about doing the work that you do?
They should know that it's very rewarding. And when you see your TV ad on TV, when you're watching the news or when you're watching a TV show or something like that, it's the best thing that can ever happen. And you're like, even though I've seen my ad on TV 100 times, every time I see it, I make everyone stop and watch it.
Now, here seems like a good time to do a quick commercial break. Let's hear a word from our sponsors.
So you want to make an ad for your company, right?
Yeah, Tiberius, you want to help me?
Okay, so what's the name of the company?
PPWND.
PP what?
Professional Pressure Washing and Detailing.
So you like clean driveways?
Yeah, like that. We pressure wash commercial buildings and semi-truck and trailers.
So how would someone get a hold of you?
They can visit my site at ppwnd.com or call me at 407-900-7793.
So I just tell them to call you at 407-900-7793 or visit ppwnd.com?
Yeah, Tiberius, you got it.
Cut, that's a wrap. Just use that.
Oak Ridge Gun Range is a family-oriented shooting range that has been in business for over 30 years. They specialize in basic firearm training and offer numerous services such as consignments, gun trades, gunsmithing, and concealed weapon classes. I even got my training for gun safety at Oak Ridge Gun Range. Great customer service, and firearm safety is what they do best. So find out more at oakridgegunrange.com.
And we're back here talking with Laura Barbante, marketing professional for the Victorian Government. Okay, so Laura, how long does it take to create a marketing campaign from idea to launch?
Varies. So my latest campaign or my previous campaign with the Giants, I would say that took nearly 12 months, all the way from concept through to the final ad being produced. It took a long time. But other campaigns, they don't take as long. I would say somewhere around the 3 to 6 month mark is usually how long it takes to create a campaign.
So, what kind of tools or software do you use to do your work?
Funny one. Like we in government, or even like most companies, not even just government, like even outside of government, everyone uses Microsoft suite or Microsoft Office. So, you're going to have your Outlooks out there and you're going to have your Word. But some of the cooler tools and systems that we use is a lot of the online planning tools like Monday.com or Trello board, those kind of things, which kind of, yeah, they're fun. And, every time you complete a task, you get a little streamers that fly across your screen. So, that's always fun.
So, when making an ad, what's more important, how it looks or what it says?
Very good question again. I think it depends on the priorities. For me, at the moment, I think how it looks is really, really important because people are visual people. And if it doesn't look good, you could say this is the best product in the world in the words. But if it doesn't look like it's the best product in the world, then people will be like, yeah, cool, next. So I think visually needs to be number one.
So, marketing is about understanding people. How do you learn what people want or how they think?
We do a lot of market research. So we actually ask people what they think and what they feel. And that helps a lot to help us kind of understand what are their priorities, what do they want from us. But also there is so much information on the web. And a lot of it is also kind of just digging, trying to figure out what's happening, looking at the infamous Reddit, what's happening on those Reddits, what are people saying that they might not have said in a focus group. So you're trying to get like a holistic perspective.
Well, I'm looking at your bio here, and it says that you've won awards for your work. What's it like to see your team win recognition like that?
Pretty incredible because you work so hard and you're just slugging away and just you're hoping someone sees it, and the fact that you can win awards off of it just means that you're doing the right thing. So not only is it working from a customer perspective, but then when the industry recognizes it, you're like, okay, well, maybe I know what I'm doing.
So, Laura, what's the award that you're most proud of?
The award I'm most proud of would be the awards I won for the Night Network. So, the Night Network is 24-hour public transport on the weekend in Victoria. And we did a really, really cool campaign where we gave a bunch of people, I think it was like 20, 25 people, but GoPros. And we said, go out and film your night and show us how you use the Night Network to get from bar to bar, from restaurant to restaurant, etc. And that won so many awards for its creative and for its media execution. So yeah, that was probably a really cool one and one I'm proud of.
Now, you write case studies on your website. What exactly is a case study?
A case study is a look back at kind of how you approached something and what the results were. So you're giving people an insight into how you thought about the problem, how you solved the problem, and how you how that worked in real life. Like, did it work or didn't it work? So case studies really give you that idea and give you a full picture of everything that you did to kind of tackle a problem.
So, what's your favorite case study that you've written about your work?
My favorite case study would be probably the Night Network as well. It was such a fun campaign, and I think it really showcases that you can be creative in government and you don't have to be boring. So to write about it and to showcase everything we did for that just proves that government advertising isn't boring.
So, what's the hardest part about working in the marketing for the government?
Trying to get people on board with your idea. So government is very diverse. There's lots of stakeholders, lots of layers. and you have to kind of go through every layer to get approval. So that's why it takes a long time. And that's also really challenging because someone might say after you've gone through like 7 approvals, I don't like this, change direction. So yeah, that's where it gets challenging.
So, how do you make a campaign that's exciting enough for teens but works for adults too?
You have to really consider the creative execution. So like the creative has to be quite age neutral in that you got to look cool, it's got to tell a story, it's got to appeal to the masses. And then when you start doing your media buying, which is buying what channels do you buy TV, do you buy social, that's where you can start to differentiate your creative and your messaging for the different audiences. So TV buy is generally for an older audience, whereas social you would buy for a younger audience. So you would tweak your messaging or your look and feel a little bit so it aligns better for the younger generation or the younger audience demo.
So, who was someone that really inspired you to work hard in your field?
Probably, I don't know. I credit a few people for that. Like obviously my parents have helped me a lot, so I would credit a lot of my hard work to them. But then also I was very fortunate to have some incredible managers in the Victorian government who taught me a lot and made me the marketer that I am today. So, they kind of also helped me strive to be my best.
So, what's the best advice that you've ever received, and who gave it to you?
The best advice I've ever received is, well, it's tricky, right? Because like you get so caught up in this world of, oh my god, I have to do everything perfect and I have to make sure everything's amazing, but and you can kind of get caught up in that. But one of the things that my one of my first bosses in government told me is, we're not curing cancer. You don't have to go home every day stressed out of your mind because it's literally just a piece of creative that's going to go on a TV screen. Like you're okay. So yeah,
So,
that.
when a campaign doesn't go as planned, how do you fix it?
If a campaign doesn't go as planned, you can kind of do a few things. So if you've already done all the creative and everything's out in market and it's not performing too well, you would speak and work with your media agency to look at the results and why it's not performing. So in a few campaigns, we've had channels that underperform, which means they're not hitting their target, and you have to pivot. You have to take that budget and put it into another channel where it is working. So you're not wasting money on a channel that's kind of dead, and you're putting it into somewhere that you're going to actually get good results, or not good results, but you're going to hit the target market and they're going to watch it, and
So,
yeah, it performs better.
yeah, how do you stay creative every day when you're working on serious topics like infrastructure?
You have to bring the fun. Like it's quite hard because it is a little bit of a dull topic or a dull subject matter, but you have to bring that creativity yourself from like whatever it is. Like everyone, like I'll spend a couple of hours on TikTok and then I'll go into work and they'll be like, hey, how cool is this cool thing on TikTok, let's try it. So you're trying to like always just bring ideas and kind of get people excited, because yeah, it is a bit of a boring subject matter, not gonna lie.
Well, speaking of TikTok, what's the coolest new marketing trend that you're using right now?
The coolest new marketing trend that I'm using right now would definitely have to be TikTok. It is such a new channel, and there's so much experimentation happening across all different brands. So it's one of those things that you can test and learn continuously because no one's judging you as if they were if you were on Instagram or Facebook or something like that, where it's a little bit more like the structure's more set. Whereas TikTok is just like another world. and you don't know what's going to work and you don't know what's not going to work. So you just have to keep throwing stuff at it and hopefully something sticks.
So, why would a kid listening today want to grow up and do your job?
Because it is way more fun than you might think. So creating ads is a lot of fun, and then buying media is also a lot of fun. So, when you get to see something that you've been working on your screen, on the big screen, in a cinema, in a TV, or just like on an out of home when you're driving down the street, it's so rewarding. It's so cool, and I don't think a lot of jobs have that.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick break to pay some bills.
The Tiberius Show would like to thank one of their dedicated sponsors, Custom Designs Orlando. These guys are on Mills Avenue and do all sorts of stuff, ranging from photo ID badges, engraved signs, custom braille ADA signs, vinyl lettering to trophies and awards. The cool part about Custom Designs is they can ship products all over the United States. You can reach them at 407-898-0373 and tell them that
Tiberius
sent you.
Over 40 years, Lighthouse Central Florida has provided education, independent life skills, and job training to thousands of Central Floridians who live with blindness or any degree of vision loss. Whether it's picking out clothes in the morning or just moving around your community and serving Orange, Seminole, and Osceola counties, contact Lighthouse Central Florida at 407-898-2483 or visit them online at lighthousecfl.org.
And we're back here talking with Laura Barbante, award-winning marketing professional and storyteller. So, Laura, what are some of the skills that teens should be working on now if they want to be in marketing someday?
The skills that people should work on now is the soft skills. So I think technical skills, people can learn that at college or university, and you learn a lot. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But I think it's the soft skills that people really need to focus on, which is how to have difficult conversations or how to manage a group project, and make sure that people hit their deadlines. So I think those kind of soft skills around working with people is what you really need to focus on now to be successful in the marketing field, because it is a lot of relationship work.
So, how does marketing actually make the world a better place?
Well, I previously worked for government, so it was a better place because of all the things that we did for the community. So marketing is all about getting people to marketing in government is all about getting people to see the future benefit of, the policies or whatever it is that, government has introduced and how that benefits the community for the better. In the private world, marketing benefits the world because you get to be super, super creative, or you get to do really cool things that you never thought you'd be able to do. You might work for, I don't know, like a paint company, and you get to tell people all about the different paints and how cool paint is. Like, your goal is always to showcase how cool your product is, and we all want to be cool, right?
So, what was that one moment in your career that you didn't expect but taught you something big?
One moment in my career that was, I think it's right now. It's kind of, I'm trying to pivot outside of government into private, and it's actually quite difficult because government has a really poor perception that, it's slow or, it's boring, which is what some of your questions have been, like, what's the cool stuff you've done in government? And so it's a really hard sell, to tell people that actually I do get to do cool stuff and how cool is my job.
So, Laura, do you think AI and technology will help the marketing industry, or do you just think it'll cost people their jobs?
I sit on both sides of the fence with that question. So I think, yes, AI has an incredible opportunity to streamline and improve marketing and advertising and how we do work and how we process things and how we solve problems. But at the same time, I am worried that businesses will be like, oh, AI can just replace people. So let's just replace people. Um, and cut costs, which is, not the right way to approach it at all. And I think there needs to be a balance. So yes, I think opportunity. There's so much opportunity in AI. I think businesses just have to be careful.
So, if a kid watching right now wanted to get into marketing, what should be their first step?
Their first step would be to start looking at all the TV ads that you see when you're watching your TV shows and look at how they're done. Like, are they really vibrant in color? Are they really dark in color? What is the core message? What is that? Are they selling you a diamond ring, or are they selling you a movie? So just really watch those ads. I'm probably one of the 1% in the world that watch every single ad that's ever served to me, because I love watching what people create.
So, what have you learned about yourself through your career that you wish that you knew earlier?
Is not to take life too seriously. When you're starting out, you can be so hard on yourself, and you just want to deliver, and do the best work you can. And you can be hard on yourself when you don't meet those goals. So if I could bestow one piece of advice, is to not be that hard on yourself, because like I said before, in the marketing world, you're not curing cancer, you are literally just selling something, so it's okay.
Laura, if you could work on any campaign in the world, dream big, what would it be?
I mean, I've been pretty fortunate enough to work with Disney, which is some of the biggest projects that I think, known to man, and some of the coolest movies. So to top that, I think I would love to work for a travel company, I think, because I love travel, and you get to sell the idea of how amazing travel is to people and get them to see the world, because the world has so much to offer. I mean, look at us. I'm in Australia and you're America, and we're having this conversation. Like, that's incredible.
Well, on your off time, what do you like to do for fun?
On my off time, I have a puppy who is actually sitting in front of me. And yeah, I've been trying to keep him quiet this whole time. Thankfully, no one's been around. Otherwise, you'd be hearing him bark. So he is my pride and joy, and we go for walks all day, every day. So we go for 2 walks a day.
So, do you play any video games? And if so, what's your favorite one?
Does video games classify as things that I play on my phone?
Yes.
I am obsessed with a game called Slither. It's just a snake game.
Oh,
And
okay. Okay. So,
you
what's your
play with
favorite
your friends.
What's your favorite book to read?
My favorite book to read, if I was to choose a book that I would go back to and read over and over and over again, it's the Harry Potter series.
So what was the biggest mistake that you ever made in life or work, and how did it change you as a person?
The biggest mistake that I have ever made is, I think it's like not taking enough time for myself. So I think potentially, or maybe I am, a workaholic. And so not finding the moments to stop and relax or reset is probably one of the biggest things that I've had to learn, especially in recent years. Because if you don't stop, you'll burn out. And once you burn out, it takes a long, long time to recover from that. I'd say I hit burnt out like at the end of last year, and only just recovering. I'm a recovering burnout.
Okay. Now, can you tell me that one story? Remember, this is a kid's show, but that one story, well, that you're not supposed to tell me about. Come on, you can tell me.
I'm a good girl. I don't have any bad stories. No, I think I don't know if I have any bad stories. Maybe just like eating mum's food when I'm not supposed to. So when I go to mum's house and she's got a freshly made lasagna or something like that, just like stealing a few slices before everyone, like not even slices, like a slither, and getting in trouble for it, picking it before dinner's ready.
Well, is there anything else you think my listeners should know about you and what you do?
I think the biggest thing is marketing is actually really, really fun. And I want to give it a really good rep. And, it's something that, I don't know, you could go anywhere with it. Like so many people that I know and I've worked with have taken it to so many different places. Like I'm in strategy. My friend is working for like a yogurt brand. So every year she has to come up with new yogurt concepts, which is pretty cool. And then other people, are gone down the digital space. So like, it's just so broad. And I really, I want to showcase that to everyone. Like you don't have to just, do an accounting degree or something like that. If you want to be in business, there's other areas.
Well, do you have a Facebook or a website for my listeners who want to follow you?
I have neither. Oh, well, I have a website, but like you can't really follow me on it. But my website is www.laurabarbante.me.
So, what is that one question that you think I forgot to ask you?
One question that you think some of these questions are hard. No, I don't know. I think you've covered a lot of ground, so I think we're good.
Well, thank you so much, Laura, for helping me with for being my special guest. Can you stick around for Math Corners?
I can.
Aw, Dad, my computer's slow again and I can't play my games.
Call Your Computer Solutions today, and we will scan for viruses and clean that computer up remotely and make it fast again. Our phone number is 407-826-0810.
Thanks, Dad. My computer's fast again. Now I can do my homework. Thanks for calling Your Computer Solutions at 407-826-0810.
Tiberius' favorite subject, it's Math Corners!
And now it's time for Math Corners. Thank you so much, Laura, for helping me with Math Corners. This week, we're just from multi-step word problems. My dad's always good at finding new problems for me to solve, and today, we're going to talk about building an ad campaign. So, I think you should be good at this one. Okay, so Susie is planning a new ad campaign for getting people, to wear seatbelts. She wants to put these ads on buses, billboards, and online videos. So each bus ad costs $250. Each billboard costs $800, and each online video costs $100 to get posted correctly. So she wants to buy 10 bus ads, 4 billboards, and 12 online videos. How much money does she need to budget for the entire campaign?
A lot.
Correct answer. It's a lot. But you know what? I'm just going to give a more exact answer, okay? So, first, this is a real-world problem because marketing professionals use math all the time to budget their profits, as I'm sure. So, first,
Indeed.
we multiply the cost of each ad type. For the buses, 10 times 250 is 2,500. For the billboards, 4 times 800 is 3,200. And for the videos, 12 times 100 is 1,200. Finally, just add them all together. So let's see, we have that kind of just equals about $6,900. So Susie would need $6,900 to pay for her entire marketing campaign. That's a lot of money, but that's how you reach out people everywhere. So Laura, do you ever
That's
have to make
important.
budgets like this for your real campaigns?
Yes, yeah.
Are they more expensive or
it's,
cheaper?
More expensive. I was going to say there are probably a few more zeros on that one for us.
Well,
But
my
thankfully
teachers
we
say
have
that.
things like Excel.
Yeah. Well, my teachers say that I would use math every single day. How do you use math in your work?
literally to do what you've just done. So I use math all the time to kind of figure out my budgets and figure out what the split is per channel, to make sure that I'm spending effectively. So yeah, definitely using math every day. I'm not using algebra and I'm not using tan, sin, cos, but still using those pluses and minuses.
Well, this does kind of use algebra a little bit. Just saying. Just saying.
True.
Well, thank you so much, Laura, for your help with Math Corners. And now it's time for the Heart of a Lion. As you know, we talk about the qualities of living by the Heart of a Lion, which stands for leadership, integrity, obedience, and nobility. This week, we're going to talk about integrity. For me, I think integrity is doing what is right, even when no one else is looking. The qualities of integrity is honesty, sincerity, truthfulness, and fairness. So, this week, I was scrolling through some online ads and saw one that said, buy this game now and get 10,000 free coins. It looked awesome. But when my friend clicked it, it turned out that the free coins were only for new players, and he's already been playing this game for months. He was super disappointed, and that ad might have gotten more clicks, but it wasn't honest. That's not having integrity. Integrity in marketing and in life, meaning telling the truth the first time, even if it doesn't sound as flashy. Because when you're honest, people trust you. And once people trust you, that's worth more than any number of fake promises. So, Laura, do you have an example of integrity that you saw this week?
Yes, so I saw a great example of integrity this week. It was, so I spend my social network as a business person is LinkedIn, and I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. And one of the things that I saw was a really interesting research piece around Gen Z and integrity. So the piece was, the data essentially was saying that the Gen Z generation, they have really strong morals. They want brands to be doing the right thing, but in the same breath, they'll buy the $12 dupe or make a $100 Shein order. So there's this real disparity between kind of what people think and what people do in that age group. So I think, there is an element of integrity in there, but it's just interesting how that plays out in the real world, because the Gen Z want brands to be, honest, but it doesn't always hit the bottom dollar, So I don't know if maybe that's not the right example of integrity, but I think it's really interesting how that plays out in the next generation of buyers.
So, Laura, of all of the Heart of the Lion virtues, which is the one that you see the most?
My favorite one out of all those was leadership. I work in the leadership space a lot, and I want to empower people around me and my team to really be the best that they can be. So leadership is one of the strongest one for me.
Well, we should always try to be lion strong in everything we do, shouldn't we?
Always.
And that's our show, folks. I want to thank the one, the only, the amazing Laura Barbante for being on my show. It has been so much fun talking to you today. I think we learned a lot about, marketing campaigns for Disney and the Victorian government. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. Do you mind giving your social media or website again?
Yes, it's www.laurabarbante.me.
Well, also you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at The Tiberius Show, and I would like to thank WWPR 1490 AM, KNT98, Soul Radio 24/7, Easy Way TV, and all the other stations that air on my show. And please visit The Tiberius Show on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. Laura, are you subscribed yet?
I am. I will be.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, This week, Waffle Houses says, now, that is some smart thinking. And Gordon Klee, NZ4QM, says, not sure if I agree with all these ideas. My mud puddle is a navigatable waterway. Well, I think Gordon's talking about the Water Conservation Show, if I'm really being honest. But thank you so much for your support, and I'm really glad that you're engaging with the show. And be sure to leave a comment on my videos, and I might even mention yours at the end of the show. And also, listen to us next week on the Tiberius Show with your host, Tiberius Boy. And that's a wrap.